Hey everybody, welcome to Channel News. We've got Tom Boggs. He's the VP of Service Delivery at a company called BCN. And we're going to talk a bit about the MSP world. And he's got a bit of a different take in how he describes his company. I'm going to have him do it. Tom, describe your company for me a bit.
Yeah, we are a managed technology solutions provider. We provide connectivity to customers, and then we also provide managed solutions, SD-WAN, monitoring, and all those things that technology companies do. We install that and support that, and do a great job for our customers.
Well, there you go, man. It's always great to talk to the folks that's on the front lines, because you're the guys who are keeping the tech running, man. If you guys go, what happens to the tech, Tom, if you guys go?
Yeah, we'd be in big trouble. Yeah, we are the core of what's happening today, and it makes it a lot of fun, but it's fast moving as it always has been.
100%. So just give me a little bit of a background on BCN first, like how you guys got started. What do you guys do? Well, you've told me what you do, but what's the culture like? Tell me a bit about the company.
Absolutely. Yeah, we've been in business over 30 years and have done a lot of connectivity and a lot of technologies over the years. Started out doing, POTS lines and things like that many years ago and have evolved into the company we are today. The culture, and I'm real big on that, is everything here. We have an average tenure at BCN of about 10 to 20 years of
Wow.
people that have been here, and the rest have been in the industry a long, long time, myself included.
Wow, there you go, man. That's huge. And so let's dig into the crux of this. I mean, obviously, there's so many MSPs right in the market. Everything is getting a bit commoditized and price type stuff. And then, of course, the customers have a little bit of economical pain. And all of a sudden, they started comparing that value, but they're comparing in price, right? First of all, what you think is going on, and how do you guys differentiate yourself?
Well, we see the same thing. There's a lot of businesses similar to us out there, or at least a handful that are left today. But it really comes down. The real value is how well you design it, how well you deploy it, how well you monitor the solutions, and then overall how you support it over the life cycle of the customer.
When you deliver service, I mean, obviously the business is delivering outcomes, right? And outcomes only happens when you deliver the right service. I don't know what happens when you deliver the bad service. I'm assuming the outcomes are quite different. So your mission is like you believe that the service, right? Delivery of that service is the key differentiator in the community right now. What's different about what you guys and how you guys do it? And what's your thoughts around there?
Yeah, so whenever we create a process, we make sure that the customer is at the center of it. So the customer's experience is critical to everything we do. So we take that in account. Obviously, the team is very important as well. We need to support them internally and make sure they know they have value, and we remove obstacles. But also being able to pivot really quickly when we do run into any kind of issue, to come up with a solution quickly. Really that experience-driven value to a customer is really what we focus on. And that really, you might have heard of the term XLAs, or experience level agreements.
Hmm.
How you track data. There's really three things within that: measure the customer experience, measure the process data, and measure the technical data. And that gives you ultimately, you're really measuring the customer outcome when you're doing those things. And we do that really well at BCN.
100%, man. And so one of the things, is there a particular kind of customers, by the way, that you target?
So it's all of them, to answer your question, but the customer that we would target is multi-site, who need connectivity and need some kind of overlay over top of that connectivity, whether it be SD-WAN that has SASE, which has security included in it. And then, obviously customers are looking for AI to be able, we need to help them build out their networks to be faster. But we're primarily looking for those multi-site customers that have a solution across all of their network, and we support them very well that way.
Got it. So One of the things that customers are doing these days, and I'm assuming yours as well. You mentioned AI. They're all like, "How do we use AI right now? Let's go, go, go!" Right? The race is on. It's like, let's go, right? Um, First of all, what are you seeing with your customers, and what are you telling your customers how to, make sure you plan this right before you end up in a problem?
The biggest thing we're involved in right now is to make sure that they have the right connectivity to be able to support AI in the future. So a lot of customers have outdated networks. They need to upgrade their bandwidth. We help them with that, obviously, but then there's security concerns as well that you need to take into account not only for AI, but just the world we live in out there. So we have all of that within SASE to be able to secure the network. Our SD-WAN solutions actually have AI built into them so that it helps, recover, any kind of network issues that it sees. And along with our monitoring services to identify issues for a customer before they see them themselves. So that's a lot of what we see and do. But, I think the world, in general, I think they're struggling with AI right now as to how to utilize that within their own organizations. We do it pretty well today. My team uses it for things like, project note takers and things like that. But you have to be careful of what you're utilizing out there in the world. There's a lot of, open AI databases that you don't want to share information into. But we try to help the customer through all of that. Mainly starts with connectivity and then our overlay with monitoring and SD-WAN and other things.
So getting them from a network hardware perspective. Look, do you find those your clients are they have the proper governance when it looks to the AI? Do they understand that when they access AI, it actually could also hurt their business, not just from a cybersecurity, but from a data leak perspective? Do you find that they understand that, or are you advising them about that?
I think as a whole they struggle with that today. I think there's some customers who really get it and understand it, and then are embracing it, and then they know kind of the risks around the corner, we'll just say. But I think a lot of customers struggle with that. And I think as we go forward, we'll continue to try to help them through all of that as well, as AI evolves and customers really understand how they can utilize it to their benefit within their organizations.
Okay. So, Tom, are you guys seeing significant gains, productivity gains from you using AI right now?
Yeah, the one example I can use is my project management team, our project onboarding team, as we call it. They utilize the note taker. It's an AI tool that listens to the conference call, and it takes notes and action items and puts together you know milestones and next steps type of thing, and it summarizes that so that a project manager doesn't have to do that during a call, and they can be more engaged in the call and listening. And then they can always go back to that. The tool we use is pretty slick how it has the action items, and then you can click on it and go right to that part of the recording for the call. So things like that can make you much more productive and customer focused. So that's one of the tools we use today to make it a better customer experience on the project management side.
Are you using things like automated ticketing and that's integrated with a little bit of AI to kind of like reduce those the numbers and all that stuff?
Yeah, we're doing more and more of that. One thing we're real big on here is data and tracking our data, and we will be doing more and more of that with AI as we evolve. But being able to measure the customer experience, measure your process data, measure your technical data, all those things tie back to the experience driven value for a customer. And so we'll utilize whatever we need to get better at that. But we do a pretty good job today, even without AI on that front.
So, Tom, let's say I'm an end customer, right? And we're talking, and I say, "So, Tom, tell me why I should do business with you guys. Like, what makes you guys any different from everybody else?"
Well, I'll tell you first of all, the people. The people here are amazing. It's part of the reason why I came to the organization. The culture. And the fact that we are so customer centered on making sure we're proactive in communication, proactive to resolve issues, rather than being reactive when something happens. We are looking for ways to improve at everything we do. So and the whole team has that focus. We are definitely customer focused across the entire organization, and we do a really good job at the basics, which is design, deployment, monitoring, and support.
So I got to trust the people. What about cybersecurity? How do you guys how do you work in the world of cybersecurity?
Yeah, well, it really comes down to, our SD-WAN solution with SASE over the top. SASE, if you're not familiar, it's Secure Access Service Edge, which is really securing the customer network outside of their LAN, kind of out at that edge location to be able to identify attacks and see them before they get into the customer LAN. So that's a really solid solution, and we got several options for that within BCN. And that's really the security solution that's out there in the world today that works really well.
And what's the last question? Like, what's the sentiment of the clients today? I mean, there's a lot of economical issues. There's so many things going on, right? How is your customers feeling? Are they spending the same? Are they increasing their spend, decreasing their spend? They're on hold. What's your thoughts?
I think it's a mix depending on the customer and the customer size. Obviously, there's a lot of spend, as we said earlier, around AI, and connectivity is a big part of that. They're going to have to spend to be able to support that AI. So you see a lot of that, and you see a lot of investments in data centers and things like that. So all those data centers need connectivity into them to support all those AI and other applications that are out there in the cloud. So customers, if they're not ready to migrate towards it, they're gonna very quickly need to. But then you have the smaller customers that are a little bit, slower in adoption of that, and want to cling to their old technologies, which are being phased out. But ultimately, they're going to have to go to all those cloud solutions and embrace AI at some point.
So, Tom, what's last question? What's your outlook for 2026 for your company?
Very exciting, very exciting. We're doing some great things here at BCN. Really exciting new things coming, which you'll see if you watch our website. You'll see some of those being announced, and the future looks amazing for us this year. In the world we live in with the technologies and how fast they're coming, we're here to support it, and we're looking forward to it.
Great to know, man. And the website address for people to learn more is what?
Yes, it's www.bcntele.com. And there's lots of information about all our solutions there and the ways we can support you.
Been a pleasure, Tom. Keep up the great work. Without you guys, well, technology doesn't run, man. So good luck. Take care.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Nice talking, Julian. Appreciate you.